Hi there, welcome to the Gardens and Graveyard channel. Today Spencer and I are trying a new trick of the trade, and we are attempting to use salt to basically dissolve some stumps that we have in the garden. There's mixed reviews online about it, and I've been wanting to try it for a little while. We meant to do it on our holly stump for a couple of years, but we've just never managed to do it. So now that we recently cut down 2 giant arborvitaes and a hebe in our backyard. We have these trunks, small trunks, but still trunks, that will prevent us from designing the garden the way I want to design it with those stumps there. So we want to get rid of them. They're not in locations where we could just like rip them out of the ground with a truck or something. So there are chemical products out there that we can use to do the same thing, but I'd like to try it with salt first. So the idea is that you drill holes in the stump and you pour Epsom salt down the holes. You give it a little bit of water. You cover the whole thing up with a tarp so the rain doesn't wash the salt away. And you may periodically have to top off the salt from time to time, depending on the type of wood or stump that it is and the environment that you're doing this in. It can take anywhere from 6 weeks to 6 months to break down the stump enough to get rid of it. The idea is that it's going to stop the plant from growing any sprouts, which I don't anticipate any of these. Well, the holly will, so it'll be interesting to see if it kills the sprouts coming out of the holly. But the arborvitae and the hebe won't grow back from the stumps. And I'm not really worried about killing the roots. That's not my concern. My bigger concern is I can't get the stump down low enough that it's not a tripping hazard, or like I can't put anything on there. If I can't plant there, I don't care. And I won't be able to plant there for a while anyways with all that salt in the ground. And it'll probably kill the ground cover directly around these particular stumps that we're working on right now. But that's okay as well. And it's all an experiment. We'll see if it actually works, but my hope is that it will create enough erosion in those stumps that they'll just kind of break apart this summer so that I don't have the stumps sticking out of the ground anymore. So we have this stump in the ground, and basically there's 3 surface areas right here from an arborvitae that was in front of the porch here, and then another one over on this side. We didn't cut this one down as low, but the same idea. And Spencer's already drilled holes, poured salt, and I put some water on it, and he is cutting up an old tarp to place over the stumps and protect it from rain. And then we have a holly tree that my dad cut down when we moved into this house right there, because as you can see, it's kind of underneath the house, and then it was growing up here, and it was covering the whole front of this porch. I mean, you couldn't see the front door, and it was huge, and just in a bad location. So we took that out right away. That was one of the very first things that we did, but we're constantly cutting back the little sprouts that it gets. For a while, I tried to embrace that holly and was like, well, maybe I could just keep it as a sphere and keep it sheared and maybe get some winter interest holly berries. But it never got berries because it needs a a partner, like male, female, I don't know, or because we just never let it get big enough to be mature enough to have berries on it, because do they get berries on old wood? I don't really know. But I never got berries, and I let it get maybe like 4 feet tall at one point and no berries. So it's just not worth it, and it's just better to get rid of it. And if I really want a holly, I can plant it somewhere else in a more appropriate place. So we have those 3 right here in the front yard, and then we have the Hebe in the backyard that is kind of right in the middle of the new space that we are incorporating into the moon garden. So I don't want that just to be there. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. It's going a little bit slow. The wood, the stumps are a lot harder wood than we were anticipating. But there's not much else to see. That's, you know, there's not much else to know. We're just drilling holes, pouring salt, pouring water, and covering it with a tarp.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, there you have it. 4 tree stumps salted and tarped. And we will just keep you updated and let you know how this little experiment goes. We both have a feeling that the holly is going to need sucker punch. It's a product that kills suckers. But we're going to try the salt thing, at least until summertime. You know, here we are at the end of January, and maybe by the time June and July rolls around and the summer's in full swing, we can remove these stumps. That is the hope. So let me know in the comments below if you've ever tried this technique and if it worked for you, or if you have any tips on how it works better. Of course, we can go the more traditional route of using chemicals if we have to, but I just thought I'd try this first. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you're celebrating your life, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.